is a Venezuelan migrant with 500,000 followers on TikTok who is telling border crossers they can live in empty houses in this country.
Una casa en United States.
In his most recent controversial TikTok video, Moreno is telling his followers to avoid living on the streets in the United States, they can, quote, invade empty homes and live there, saying under U.S. law, if a house is uninhabited, it can be seized, referring to squatting rights in our country. That video garnered almost 4 million views. In past videos, the illegal migrant bragged that he came to the United States to vacation and now lives off U.S. taxpayers because he had a child in this country. He also tells his followers that he waits for Americans' hard-earned pension checks to come in every month. In another video, he is urging fellow Venezuelans to pay the fines of a 15-year-old migrant. It could be him. Tomorrow, it could be one of you.
Would President Biden support a law that would make that kind of squatting illegal?
I have not seen that TikTok video, so I can't comment on that. Go ahead.
Yes, I have interesting videos to show you.
A New York State rep, he's introducing a bill to prevent squatters from having rights in New York State, and he joins me now. Jake, in law school, you literally spend 5 minutes on adverse possession, squatters' rights. Then you forget about it. It's not even on the bar exam. So how did we get here where these illegals are feeling so emboldened? Non-illegals, others are feeling so emboldened to abuse the law like this?
Yeah, unfortunately, videos like that one you saw on TikTok is one of many of people teaching others how they can utilize New York's laws to their advantage. Squatting has become a bit of a crisis here in New York. For the longest time, we have seen so many of these cases. A woman in my district was on the brink of homelessness because she couldn't get a squat.
I don't even know why this is a law. Squatters are taking over everywhere. According to this tweet, Joe Rogan calls out insane progressive policies that allow for squatters to see people's houses. The guy was explaining how he did it in a YouTube video. He was saying that you get a fake lease, so you drop up a fake lease, you use that lease to get the power and things that in your name, you pay the bills. There is a bunch of different steps that you can do that just seems to indicate that you are the legal resident, right? And then they have to take you to court, and it could be months and months, years before you even get a trial. It's so crazy that in the name of protecting tenant, which is important, you don't want a shitty landlord. That is what I've seen happening. If you have been following this channel, you realize I put out a video where a lady was actually in tears because this happened to her.
The story about the guy, I think he's from Venezuela.
I had to make a move.
He's telling people how to get over the border and then squat in houses, and like how you'll just get like, you know, it's like they won't throw you out of their house. It's not like where we're from. You can just get in the house and then you can stay there.
In Queens.
Yeah.
So, the lady got arrested for changing the locks on her own home.
And that to me is crazy.
They're also saying in New York, if you're in a house for 30 days, you legally become a tenant.
Yep.
That's right.
If you get mail sent to the place in your name, it's yours.
That is bananas.
So that's why I introduced this Policy Protection Act to just simply change a few lines in the law and remove squatters from being considered tenants within New York State statute.
Let's talk about your bill. How does your proposed bill stop this?
So, like I said, all it does is remove the statute in the law that says that squatters are considered tenants under the law. They'll be considered trespassers, as they are in many of these cases, like that gentleman with the receipt. I know that looked like very good evidence, but unfortunately, that could leave you in court for years, and you'll be paying their taxes, their water bills. There's a case in Queens, a woman is paying for her home, and the squatter is renting out the home on Airbnb.
What I don't get, you talked about court, what I don't get is how these fraudulent leases signed between a squatter and his quote-unquote tenant aren't automatically rejected the moment they go in front of a judge. It seems like that should be like gone immediately, yet you're saying this lasts for years and years.
Yeah, unfortunately, they get bogged down in a New York legal system that sides almost always with the tenants. And in many of these cases, a lot of these homeowners, this is their only property. This is not big, scary landlord. This is mom and pops. This is people with their first home. They lived their whole life to buy that home. And now they're stuck with someone with false papers or a crazy case, and it could take them years. The courts are backed up. We had the stay in evictions in New York for many years, and now there's 30,000 plus cases last year. There's over 6,000 this year to date. And it's only getting worse. And if we don't fix this, like like many other states have, New York is going to continue to have the housing crisis we suffer from. I'm calling on all
problem. Yes, this is something lawmakers should stand on. I saw this young guy, standing tall, against this. He said he recently introduced a bill, to eradicate this. This should be stopped immediately. Why should this be happening? If care is not taken, if they all realize that they can do this, they would take over all the abandoned homes or all the homes people are not living in a very short time. Because they know it's very easy to do that, and you start dragging them in court.
Squatters living in other people's homes, all on the homeowner's dime. And we've told you about a few cases over just the past 2 weeks.
And it's all due to a legal loophole, a loophole that some people are working hard to close.
Investigative reporter Dan Kraus joining us now with what he's found. Dan.
Yeah, New York has a long history of passing laws to protect tenants from greedy landlords, and for good reason. But some lawmakers say those laws have gone way too far. They say it also allows dishonest people to milk the system and to get free housing for years. We've heard from homeowner.
We are at the mercy of the squatter, the criminal.
After homeowner.
I don't have access. They changed my side locks and they changed my entire front door.
Who are fighting with squatters who have taken over their homes. In New York, if you call the police on someone who moved in without permission, if they claim to be a tenant, they can't be arrested for trespassing. The homeowner instead has to take them to court.
It's an unfortunate upside-down world.
Jake Blumenkranz is trying to change that.
They know how to work the law to stay for a certain number of days and kind of work the system.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days. That means the property owner can't change the locks on them, can't remove their belongings, can't cut off the utilities, or they could be arrested. Instead, property owners must go through the court system to get rid of them, a system that could take close to 2 years for a resolution.
Yes, to be truthful, I have gone to so many places. I only see this in America. Squatters' right is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Squatters should not have a right. It should not even be a thing. Just imagine people crying up and down because they have taken over their homes. This is crazy. I did a video where a lady came out. She was actually in tears because she was arrested, after squatters took over her home and even called the police. That is insane, to even see this happening. When I saw this, I never had knowledge on what was going on. It is, what I've seen a few days ago. It is happening randomly until TikTokers are now putting out videos upon videos. This Venezuelan guy, did, a video explaining to people how to do. They should not sleep on the street. They should take over people's home. Even explaining the procedure. This guy had about 5 million followers on TikTok, though the account is being blocked right now. So you can see the kind of doctrine people are passing out on social media, encouraging people to take over homes. This should be stopped immediately. If you are caught doing this, you should be deported immediately.
You want to see a messed up building? Just take a look at the Federal Reserve. Created by a group of bankers in 1913 after Jacob Astor mysteriously died on the Titanic, it became the Central Bank of America, where they print money out of thin air and control our monetary system, and lend that same money to the United States on interest.